Good afternoon, everyone. Is everyone here?
Yes.
Is everyone here?
No.
Right.
Yes, it's
Um,
already something.
I need to sign this form.
yeah, the attendance sheet.
Who is it?
So we're there. This training session is recorded for training and quality purposes. So for improvement, just like how we did the spill drill with Stan, it was recorded. So when I showed the auditor, it was recorded. So that is a proof evidence that we did it instead of just filling a piece of paper. And it is also good that when we review that, we saw some of the steps being listed. Today's training is BSBAUD402B Participate in a Quality Audit. It is a unit of competency that is recognized by the government. And I've registered the document number here. TMQA001 revision 1.0. As we go, then we can change the revision. So to give you a little bit of background why we are doing this. The objective of this training is to promote consistency in performing internal audits among the internal auditors. So that means if let's say we have two internal auditors, if they are not properly calibrated, they can audit the same process using the same procedure, but the results may be different. One may be able to catch, one may be able to value add, and the other does not value add. But we want to calibrate the consistency so that both can value add. So a little bit of background. We have 18 internal auditors, but not all of them are active. We are supposed to perform twice yearly internal audits, but sometimes we miss some. So a lot of you have gone through internal audit training quite a number of years ago, isn't it? So more than 4 years ago. And due to, and also in the past 2 years, we're finding that there are some inconsistencies in the audit results. So that's why I'm doing this. Okay, so at the end of the training, this is the expectation. These are the elements of competency. So you should be able to review auditing documentation, participate in developing audit schedules, gather and analyze information, evaluate information, report findings, and participate in exit meetings with the audit team. So that is the expectation of competencies. So out of each element of competencies, you can find on the notes that I've given out to you. These are the performance criteria expected. These are the performance criteria expected of the auditor. Okay. So, code of conduct, mobile phone and silent mode, everyone. Interaction, one discussion at a time. Ask questions relevant to the topic of discussion. Respect others, constructive criticism, cultural differences, and so on and so forth. OH&S, exit points, you know where they are. First aid, Shay is still the first aider. If you are auditing later on at the warehouse, wear safety vest. I think everyone knows that. Yes. So I'll go through with you the program overview. So this is the exit point. This is where we are now. Here, the laser pointer is not very bright, so you just go out and then assemble right outside the gate. So this is the schedule. It's on your notes. We will have, I'll go through with you later on after this code of conduct, the past internal audits survey that we've conducted. We go through the results, very interesting results. And then auditor's responsibilities. What are your responsibilities? Our responsibilities. Auditing and questioning techniques. Audit findings and complete report. Then we have 15 minutes break. Hopefully we can conclude by 2:45, 3 o'clock. You can go and start auditing your audit based on the schedule, go in 2 by 2. And then one person will be the auditor, the other person is the observer, and then reverse role, the other person is the auditor, and one person is the observer. So to observe whether what you have learned is being applied. And then when we come back, we'll we'll have a group discussion. When you come back, then you have a written assessment. So part of the competency of this training is there will be a 3 portion in it. The 3 portion will be you have auditing skills 20%, which is observation by the observer on the auditor. There's a 20%. Complete an audit report. You are required to complete an audit report, which consists of 50%. And then that written assessment, which is a questionnaire here. This is a questionnaire that I prepared, consists of the 30%. So all up will be 100%. The competency threshold will be a minimum of 70%.
If we fail,
If you fail, you may have to repeat the training, and I will have to go through with you which area and portion that you have failed, and then I'll run through the area that you need to improve. There are 2 types of competency or assessment. One is the criteria reference assessment, and another type is a non-reference assessment. This is a criteria reference assessment. What it means is, it is not, a person can become competent over time upon developing the skills, knowledge, and the attitude of acquiring this level of competency. That is called criteria reference competency. The other type of assessment is non-reference assessment, like in schools, national exams, where you have first class, second class, and third class honors, depending on the performance of that batch of students of that year. That's called non-reference. And some students in UK, when they're doing LLB, law degree, the cutoff is just 25%. They allow 25% of the students to pass for the year. So that is called non-reference. But this type of assessment is not non-reference, it's criteria reference. Okay, I'll go through now with you the brainstorming and discussion of the survey that we have done. So this, we entering into session 2. These are the topic that I will cover. Right? Okay. I have formulated 10 questions altogether. So the first question is, what improvements you would like to see with the audit process? A lot of response that we get is the audit report format. The format is not very user-friendly, so they ask us to change the format. Audit preparation time, there's not enough time. Post-audit communication, there's no post-audit communication, which is a very good feedback, so we will improve on that. So further comments is complete process mapping, have 4 meaningful reviews. Level percentage of internal auditors in the department according to head count, and I can guess where it's coming from. As for example, in the accounts department, you've got 3 auditors, isn't it?
It was 3 out of
Was yeah,
3.
You had 3 auditors out of 3, so the percentage is quite high as compared to, like, say, engineering. Percentage is quite low. So we will look into that.
Warehouse.
Yeah, and warehouse as well.
There's 1.
Yeah. So also audit more meaningful procedures, customer-centric processes, not HR induction. Especially we have in TS we have what we call COP, customer-oriented processes. Those should be heavy focus on that. So, but we are not. We are just doing, in terms of when we do scheduling internal audits, we're just doing across the board. All procedures needs to be audited at least once a year, but that should not be the case.
is that the rule, or is that?
That's not the rule. It should be based on risk, and it should be based on actually internal audits should be based on risk. So if we see that process is high risk, internal or we call it COP, which is customer oriented processes, or SOP, support oriented processes, or MOP, management oriented processes, then we see the risk, high risk, then internal audit teams should focus on it. There are no examples of completed audit, expected standard of audit reply, type of information, feedback to be written, which is very good. I mean, when we get this kind of feedback, this is where we can improve. Okay. So
sorry, can you go back, please? This is the last point.
the last point is auditor and auditee to give importance and honors when conducting audits. This is a very important point. This is a skill that you have to pick up as an auditor. So you have to observe the body language and the behavior of the auditee. So a lot of women are very good at that. They look at you when you speak, your eyes are twitching, you've got facial muscles twitching, they know that you're lying. So straight away they know that you are lying. So when I go to so when I go and audit suppliers, afterwards we will go through some of the questioning techniques. If you ask the suppliers, do you have this? Do you have this? You already know the answer. Yes, 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 yes. They have it. You have it. They have it. You ask, do you have it? Yes, I have it.
Show me.
Alright. So I'll go through the questioning techniques later on. But body language is very, very important. It consists of from statistics, it consists of the 60 to 70% of the answer. You can actually get the answer from observing the body language. That is where your spider sense will tell you whether the person is honest or not, whether they should go in deeper, further. Second, what are the past issues faced during scheduling with auditee? Auditee not giving correct time to audit. Auditee very busy. Everyone is busy. Everyone is very busy. We don't have time. Auditee not interested to go through the procedures. There are auditees where they don't even know the procedures. They don't even know the process. They're not even familiar with the process. They know what they're doing now, but whether what they're doing now is the same as what the procedure says or what the code instruction says, they have no idea. Auditee not the owner of the task, so doesn't know the answers to questions asked or related to the procedure. So when you question the auditee say, I have no idea, don't ask me, ask Shay, ask someone else.
Can I ask, so you wouldn't always be auditing the same person, so that's not
Correct.
It's not a requirement that you audit the owner of the task or the manager or whoever wrote it. So I guess what would be that's just a comment.
It's just a comment.
Yeah.
I'll briefly cover that off later on.
Yeah. Okay.
What are the past issues faced in terms of Lumen procedure? The procedure not written correctly to the process. That's the feedback that I get. Work instructions not referenced to the procedure. Auditees not fully aware of the procedure, which is fair enough. Procedures not being kept up to date. Mind you, in a big organization, in a very huge organization, a lot of procedures are all written by, or the systems are written by professionals, a team of consultants to come in and write the procedures. You are, in a very big organization, you are to follow the procedures 100% to the law of the letter. But at Lumen, because we're not a big company and it's always evolving, the documented system always suffers, always lagging behind, always. So at the moment, the system is relying on internal audits as a mechanism to bring it back to what is current. Okay. And also, it relies on the due diligence on the person, the process owner, department managers, to update the procedures and get it registered in Lumen system. So that is the existing mechanism. We can change that if we want to. Full process mapping required for meaningful review. We haven't done any full process mapping for a long time.
Does the Does the register of the instructions and procedures we have the, who's the approver or the owner of the procedure
Yes.
in that table?
Yes, that is. Yeah, that is. Staff involved in the process haven't been consulted of change, update process owners and authority conflicts. So when there is a change, someone updated the procedures, right? No one has been here. The stakeholders have not been informed. So sometimes they don't know that this has changed. So what is the right process of change? Maybe we need to review that when changing updating procedures. The parties who are affected must be informed, there must be a buy-off. HR managers should be able to authorize to approve HR processes. So this is very interesting feedback that I get. I thought HR managers do approve their own HR processes.
And then you had a look at some,
Right?
and then you had a look at some, and saw your name was on it?
Yeah, it's a good comment.
Where do these comments come from?
Right?
That was mine.
Anonymous.
Oh, okay.
Some of them
No,
are
no, I meant like, did you compile these or is the feedback that you received?
compiled.
From the survey.
Anonymous, I don't know where they come from. So. Poor cross-linking between departments on procedures. I think it is a fact, isn't it? We see gaps, gray areas, and actually some are overlapping. There are many that overlap, and some is disjointed. Yeah. So we need to do a process mapping. Too many procedures, isn't it? Way too many procedures. Procedures outdated, superseded, not being followed. Overlapping procedures with processes with other procedures. What are the past issues with the preparation? Timing, the procedure, and auditee. Preparation, not just timing is also important. Preparation in terms of the auditor getting prepared for the audit is also very, very important. Comments, not being sure exactly what is expected. How to fill the turtle diagram. I think you guys still have an issue with filling out turtle diagrams, what the turtle diagrams is all about.
I agree with that comment. It doesn't always work for every, I mean, maybe it does if you know it very well, but it doesn't work for every process in my experience.
It requires a turtle diagram, in my opinion, it requires the right frame of mind. The person who is like Rob, who is in quality for a long time, who used Ishikawa diagram or fishbowl diagram for a long time to do the failure analysis, root cause analysis, then to use a turtle diagram is a lot easier. If you are not familiar, so you struggle. You don't know what it means, what is the connotation of those terms, what is the expectation. Being an internal auditor, what recognition would you like to have by Lumen management? Just a little time consideration, small gestures of appreciation such as special lunch or vouchers. The audit process is respected, viewed as continual improvement. Lumen management to reward auditors for doing great extra work. So I have not presented this to top management yet. So that is the feedback that I get. So. Mind you, being internal auditors, you are very, very valuable in the company. A lot of people don't know that. Many companies have got a separate department, internal audit. This group of internal auditors are highly trained, not just to do internal audit on procedures, they can do internal audit on accounts, finance, and they report only to the president or the very top man in the company. And all the work that they do is highly confidential. So they have to sign extra strict confidentiality agreement with the company. If you look at the Sanlong, if you look at the WNC, they have all this separate team of people with the audits. What internal audits or quality related training would you like to have? So a lot of comment, a lot of feedback that I get is more regular refresher training or meeting. Only do a couple of audits a year. What it means is before they do the audit, they'll prefer to have refresher training like this to go through so that it's fresh and then they do the audit. That's been, I think the last time we had the training was 4 years ago. Isn't it?
At least there was a training with Rob.
Oh yeah, Rob did a refresher.
That was
Yeah.
That was on the diagram.
Yeah.
That was on
We
the
haven't done that.
diagram.
Yeah.
No.
But the cardigan guy was 4 years ago, yeah.
I would, this training itself is actually 1 whole day. I'll just condense it into 2 hours. Alright, it's actually 1 whole day. I would do a training, if you don't mind, I would do a training on TS 16949, going through the requirements of TS 16949 and how they interlink with each other. That would be very, very helpful for you, because if you work in automotive, you don't know much about the TS requirements. It's a shame.
Should that be a requirement of anyone writing a procedure?
That too, yes.
Should we?
Should be. Because in the very first place, when you write a procedure or when you update a procedure, you have to comply with the TS requirements first. Not for convenience. You can do it for convenience, but
It's
to
got to
limit
meet that as well.
that, but you have to limit that.
So that kind of brings a question into who should have authorities with signing off as what's approved with a procedure also.
The person who is approving it should be the person who knows the TS requirements. More reference materials such as past audits or examples of audit reports, list of generic questions that are supposed to be asked to the auditee. That's why before this training, I asked my group to send up some of the past audit reports for you to look at, understand the procedure that you're going to audit afterwards. Every year to have a refresher course before we start auditing and test audit skills and competency. Auditing is a skill. There are 3 portions of competencies. First portion is knowledge. Once you gain the knowledge, doesn't mean that you're competent. It's actually 3 rings interlinked with each other. Second ring is the skills. Skills is the application of knowledge. Right? The better you apply the knowledge, the better you get. And it has to be guided. Guided means whether you're doing it correctly or not correctly. Someone needs to tell you this is incorrect, this is correct, show you the correct way. Then the third portion is attitude. So if you combine knowledge, skills, and attitude, that forms the competency model. Checklist by procedures. The feedback, some people say, every procedure should have a checklist of what to audit. You as an auditor, you can actually create your own checklist just before you audit by looking at by reviewing various sources of information. Has it got a past NCLs? Has it got a past crime? So you look at all that. Identify areas of risk. Some people, before they have a few questions. Before they start auditing, they actually stand and observe the person doing the job. If let's say this is a production operators doing these assembly, you can observe what they're doing. If the work instruction says you have to lay out 20 boxes before you start anything, does she do that? Lay out 20 boxes? What is the rationale? Why has she changed? And team audits. Many suggested team audits. Team audits come up a few times. Training, buddying up auditors, discussion, pair reviews on audits to moderate results and sentencing. Sentencing may not be the right word, but I just put it in essence.
Can we go back to team audits? What does that mean?
Team audits means instead of one person, now in the past we asked Frank Fu to audit this procedure. Instead of one person, Frank Fu and maybe Singh as a team, 2 persons, to audit the procedure. Both of them studied the procedure, studied the process, studied the past record, and when one person is questioning the other person, do the observation, look at the body language, and write down. And write down the records, write down the information. This is very difficult sometimes for a person who is asking questions, thinking of the questions to ask, and doing the recording at the same time. That is a different skill. A lot of ladies have it, but a lot of men don't have it. So.
Just trying to convince more girls to join the internal audit team.
Just that the ladies have a lot of ladies have the skill of they are able to listen to multiple conversations at the same time and multi-skill at the same time. While men, when they do one thing, just focus home, just one thing. You talk to them, they say yeah. They hear you, but they don't listen to you. Okay.
That's recorded.
Oh, this is recorded.
Yeah.
Alright. So, team audits, that's what it means by team audit. In future, as we move forward, we want to reduce the number of procedures. Then, when you have 2 or 3 persons as a team, if this procedure is huge, LP050, project management is huge procedures, you may need 3 auditors as a team to cover different portions of it. First portion, first backbone, from concept to PPAP. Second backbone is okay. Provide examples, references of audits, standardized questions, QA, quality department, and auditor to have 10 minutes discussion on audit report before closure. So that's the feedback that you got. In your opinion, what are the value-adding benefits of performing internal audits? What is the benefit of doing it? So, fresh eyes, different point of view can offer more opportunity for improvement, ensure conformance to procedures and best practices, compliance, assessing the effectiveness of the systems and done by people questioning why we do what we do, give us opportunity to pick up any procedural errors or gaps. So, by right, you should not wait till that. You should not wait till internal audits to pick up all these errors, isn't it? So, departments now with the lean program should have a regular review of your procedures with the waste ideas that should fit back into the process and procedures and update that as to close of the loop. If the internal audit also validates that procedures are being followed properly, or certain procedures may no longer be required. Auditor and auditee will know the process better. Conforming the actual process versus the written process, if not matching, review the process with the team. And internal audit is also for continual improvement purposes. What improvements you like to see on auditors' auditing techniques? More emphasis on suggestions to improve, feel less like a grind for the auditee to ask open-ended questions, better understanding by all on what is an observation, minor non-conformance and major non-conformances. The problem that a lot of company has with internal audits is the auditors know the process very, very well. So some auditors are very aggressive in manner, very domineering, and very dictating. So you must do this. But that's not what we want. And some auditors also say, I'm not able to distinguish what is a minor, what is a major, non-conformance, what is an AOC area of concern, what is OFR, opportunity for improvement. So how to differentiate that? They're not sure. We'll cover that off. More supplementary materials, we have mentioned that earlier on. Last question, what are the overall improvement you'd like to see in the whole auditing process, from audit preparation, auditing, raising non-conformances, following up corrective action for closure? Allow time for auditors and tighter coordination. Audit team comes up many times. Audit as a team. General process improvements, not for internal audits but for peer review, input and feedback, should make audit compliance process very quick. Quality to follow up the close